here. I'm here with my buddy Jared, aka OJ and Bacon.
What's up?
And today we wanted to start off, again, this will be our second time trying it out, but I wanted to start off with a mini devotional. So I have this program here, it's called eSword. It's basically an electronic Bible, but I actually just wanted to read through the story of Daniel and just kind of tell you guys about how I came to start the stream and basically just a lot of my motivation behind doing what I do in the way that I do it. So I guess I'll just start reading from Daniel 1:1 here. In the third year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, with some of the vessels of the house of God. And he brought them to the land of Shinar, to the house of his God, and placed the vessels in the treasury of his God. Then the king commanded Ashpenaz, his chief eunuch, to bring some of the people of Israel, both of the royal family and of the nobility, youths without blemish, of good appearance, and skillful in all wisdom, endowed with knowledge, understanding, and learning, and competent in the stand in the king's place, and to teach them the literature and language of the Chaldeans. The king assigned them a daily portion of the food that the king ate and of the wine that he drank. They were to be educated for 3 years, and at the end of that time they were to stand before the king. Among these were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah of the tribe of Judah. And the chief of the eunuchs gave them the names Daniel, he called Belteshazzar, Hananiah he called Shadrach, Mishael he called Meshach, and Azariah he called Abednego. But Daniel resolved that he would not defile himself with the king's food or with the wine that he drank. Therefore he asked the chief of the eunuchs to allow him not to defile himself. And God gave Daniel favor and compassion in the sight of the chief of the eunuchs. And the chief of the eunuchs said to Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who assigned your food and your drink. For why should he see that you were in worse condition than the youths who are of your own age? So you would endanger my head with the king. Then Daniel said to the steward, of whom the chief of the eunuchs had assigned over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, test your servants for 10 days. Let us be given vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then let our appearance and the appearance of the youths who eat the king's food be observed by you, and deal with your servants according to what you see. So he listened to them in this matter and tested them for 10 days. At the end of 10 days, it was seen that they were in better appearance and fatter in flesh than all of the youths who ate the king's food. So the steward took away their food and the wine they were to drink, and gave them vegetables. As for these 4 youths, God gave them learning and skill in all literature and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. At the end of the time when the king had commanded that they should be brought in, the chief of the eunuchs brought them in before Nebuchadnezzar. And the king spoke with them, and among all of them none was found like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Therefore they stood before the king. And in every matter of wisdom and understanding about which the king inquired of them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and enchanters that were in all of his kingdom. And Daniel was there until the first year of King Cyrus. Alright, so it's a little bit of a mouthful. But basically, I just wanted to share this story with you guys because when I was praying about starting up my stream, I felt like the story of Daniel just kept coming up to me whenever I was praying about it. And I felt like God was telling me not to eat the king's food, in a sense. So, in other words, to be different, to not do the same thing that everybody else is doing. So, I mean, what does that look like, you may ask? Well, for me, it means I want to play Christian music on my stream, primarily. I might not always. Sometimes I like to listen to a little bit of 80s, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I think everybody likes variety. But that's one of the things that I want to do. I want to play Christian music. I want to be a Christian streamer. And, yeah. So, I guess it might not seem like there's really that much that goes into it, but I have to put a lot of thought into how I want my stream to be presented and how I want everything to look and how I want everything to work. And so basically just like there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on. But whether it be like not cursing, for example, But yeah. So also, I think that just applies to gaming in the sense that like, just because you're gaming doesn't mean you have to engage in cursing. You don't have to engage in talking trash to the enemy. Like, sometimes it's like fun and playful that we do it, and I mean, I'll admit sometimes I'm not even the perfect sportsmanship player or whatever. It's kind of hard when you're across a computer screen. You don't have to look that person in the eye like you do with like a normal sports game. But I still think it's important that we just separate ourselves as Christians, and that we really show what it's like to have good sportsmanship, and really show what it's like to be separated and to be different. And I think that as in the story of Daniel, people will see that just that we're healthier for it. Like, we don't have these anger problems. We don't get frustrated. We don't. Basically, when you go into a game with the right mindset, you're not going to have some of these same problems that people who don't go in with those mindsets have. And that's a basic, whether you're Christian or not Christian. And I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Do you have anything to add, Jared?
It just reminded me of the verse in Luke that talks about the rich man who gave money to the three servants.
Okay.
And he was really only truly proud of one of them because of what he did with the money. It's kind of like God gives you these things like video games and stuff. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to change your attitude about it and about how you go around? Mm-hmm. Or like, are you going to put on a facade just because it's what it's normally like? Or are you going to do what you should be doing and glorify God with it, which is what your concept of the stream is. So it just kind of reminded me of that verse.
Cool. Thanks for the word.
Yeah.
And that also just reminded me of, I guess, just the other part of the stream that I want to be able to help people through the stream. And like Daniel, when he was in Babylon, he actually helped the city immensely. I mean, God blessed him with wisdom, and even though he was working for a foreign king, Daniel was still able to bless those people, and Daniel was still able to perform his duties with the gifts that God had given him. And I think that's a pretty cool thing. It wasn't like God didn't just abandon the people where they were, but God met them where they were. He met the Israelites where they were. And we see how society was actually affected for a greater cause, and that's kind of like my other goal, my other hope, my other vision is to just make society a better place through all the different areas of society. Gaming just happens to kind of fit into arts and entertainment, and so here we are. So with that said, let's get into a game. Let's have some fun. Let's try some new items.
Are you going to support?
Patch 4.0.